What is going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to another edition of On the Road to Victory. I'm your host, Jimmy Smith, and I hope you're all having yourselves a fantastic Sunday. Muggy as hell. Storms of Narnia out there. Hopefully you're staying safe. Trying to enjoy a little time with the family here. Eagles throwing us a little something today, so I thought we could talk about it. So we're here, we're live. Appreciate all of you taking the time, hitting that like button, sharing, subscribing. If you're watching this later, would love to hear from you. But if you're tuned in right now, I'd love to hear your thoughts. You have any kind of questions, we're going to go through it all. We'll talk about the bio, the stats that we always do with the new players. We'll get to know them. Then we'll talk about the updated wide receiver room, the depth chart, what that looks like, the draft picks now that we've made this trade, the trade details, everything you need to know. That's going on, why I think this move happened. So let's get it on, baby. Hope you're ready to talk some birds. I know I am, but yeah, in case you missed it, there was a little bit of a trade here. So the Philadelphia Eagles are acquiring John Metchie and hold on, try to click on the graphic, not working. So you get John Metchie III here, and if you guys tune into the show, you know that I am a fan of John Metchie III. So I like it, and you get a 6th round pick. It's your pick coming back, because if you remember, we traded with the Texans. We got Kenyon Green and gave them C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But, yeah, so we switched the picks back. They get their pick back, and Harrison Bryant. Now, I like Harrison Bryant. We talked about him as one of the free agent fits. But, you know, unfortunately, getting outplayed by Kylan Granson and obviously Grant Calcaterra there. So, you know, for me, this is a move where, you know, you're getting someone that provides you depth at the wide receiver room where, you know, we talked about Anaya Smith and Johnny Wilson and Darius Cooper's been stepping it up. But to me, you know, they need a tight end badly. You know, Brevin Jordan just tore his ACL, and you talk about, you know, what they have there. Dalton Schultz came back. They have Cade Stover there, but they need a tight end. We have a tight end that is decent, can catch, can block. Probably, you know, not looking like he's going to make the team here. So it's a no-brainer. And, you know, you flip those picks, you know, whatever. So we get a 6th back and they get a 5th. But, you know, to me, Howie just doing his thing, and I love it. So let's break it down a little bit more. Hope you guys are excited for this season. It's coming, dude. 18 days away. So, of course, we talk about Howie always making these trades in August. Well, there's a wide receiver right there. One of my favorites growing up, Jeremy Maclin. But last year, you know, the Eagles made a trade for a wide receiver in Jahan Dotson. We talked about Dotson. But one of the names we talked about, if you remember this graphic from then, was John Metchie III. So do not look. This is not current. This is from last year when we talked about him. Just if you remember, this is the guy I actually am a fan of. So I'm pumped about this move. I hope you're pumped about this move. And with the Eagles flipping those picks, we still have 13 picks. So, you know, that's 20 picks total the next couple of years. The only pick of our own that we don't have is a 5th rounder, but we've got our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and you can see all the extras there. The 3rd round compensatory pick and the one from the Jets. You got a comp in the 4th. And then in the 5th, you've got 3 from other teams in Houston, Atlanta, and San Fran. That's a conditional one with the Bryce Huff trade. And then you could turn that into a 4th. I doubt it. Then the 5th round comp pick, and then your own 6th and 7th. So Howie, dude, is like I talk about. When I say that this team is building a dynasty, we're talking about the future. So we're not looking at just moves, you know, for right now, but for the future as well. You get a guy that was a 2nd round pick, could have been a 1st round pick if he wouldn't have torn his ACL, you know, in that championship game against Georgia. So this is Howie taking a swing on someone that in the right system with great receivers around him, a great wide receivers coach in Aaron Moorhead. I think the sky's the limit for him. So, yeah, we're going to break that down right here, right now. Take a look at what this team looks like now. But if you have any thoughts, Brian, I'm going to jump right into this bad boy. So, an interesting trade indeed, Bob. Appreciate you tuning in, DKB. Troy, my man, hope you're all having yourselves a great weekend. I'm ready to talk about this trade. I don't know about you guys. I like it a lot. And it's not like, oh, my God, this is a superstar trade. No. Let's talk about John Metchie III. So what I talked about, you know, last year in adding someone that could be that 3rd wide receiver. Well, we did that, and we got Jahan Dotson. I would much rather have Jahan Dotson. Now we get both. So this year, the Texans, loaded at the wide receiver room and needing a tight end. You take advantage of that. Howie Roseman, a genius. So we talked about this kid coming out of Alabama, right? Second round pick because of that ACL tear, but still good enough to be taken in the second round. But then the poor kid gets leukemia. It was like polyocytic, whatever it's called, a form of cancer there. So misses his rookie season. So he's really only played in 23 and 24. This will be his third season. So awesome story that this kid, he beat it. He's doing well. But let's talk about now. He was listed last year, 5'11", 187. Whatever, dude. He's like 5'11", 6 foot. I have him here at 6 foot, 195. But out of Alabama, as I said, his third year here, 25 years old. And look, 4.48 speed, the 40 time there. He's not a burner. That's not what he is. His cap hit only 2.56 mil. That's something, another thing where that could change. I think maybe we're only responsible for like 1.8. Don't quote me on that, but we'll get the numbers there then. Didn't really have time to get into that too much. But this is just what his cap hit was for the Texans. So his stats for last year: started 3 games, played in 13, had a reception touchdown, 24 catches on 37 targets for 254 yards. That's 10.6 yards per reception. In college, he had like 11.7, and then it was like 16.7 the year before. He, can definitely stretch the field. But this is not a burner in any way, shape, or form. This is more of your possession wide receiver. And with his size, he isn't the biggest guy, but he does play with the toughness. So, one of the knocks on him was, he can't play outside. He has to be inside. For me, he's one of those guys, just like Devontae Smith or A.J. Brown, his former teammate there, Devontae Smith at Alabama. He actually, his first year, his freshman season, was right after Jalen Hurts had transferred to Oklahoma. So didn't play with him. But the receivers here, interchangeable, can play inside, outside. You need to be able to do all these things. Jahan Dotson could do the same. So you just added yourself, a kid that I love his route running, love his hands, and coming off that ACL, that sucks. And, then he got the leukemia. So hopefully, in that time, he was able to do what he can to get his leg right. And you hope that he can. He's only started like 4 games in his career. So obviously, if you're watching stats, you're not going to think, oh, man, but this kid has a bright future. He's still got a ways to go. Love his story. Love this kid. I just think this is a perfect kind of guy that you add to the Philadelphia Eagles that competes here. So talking about competing, let's see, now that we've added John Metchie to the team, what the team actually looks like. And we've been talking about it. We know the top 3. The question mark is, who wants to be 4? Is there 5? Would you keep 6? I heard someone saying about 7. I'm not sure we go that route unless you're planning on working some magic. But let's talk about it. We talk about these training camp battles. We've added Metchie now to the mix. The top 3, Brown, Smith, and Dotson. So who wants to be that 4, that 5, 6, as we mentioned here? So now, Johnny Wilson, we've talked about it. I think he's been proving this camp. He deserves a spot. So are Metchie the 4 and 5? Do you try to keep a gadget type player in Ananias Smith and, have 6 wide receivers there? Do you like Darius Cooper and what he's done? Do you want Avery Williams for the return capability? Is someone like Ananias Smith capable of helping you as a receiver and a returner? That would really go a long way for him. So you see all the other guys, the free agents added in Marshall and Williams. Of course, the undrafted kids. You got Jackson Morin, Adai there. Elijah Cook's back this year, the reserve future, who was brought back. I think, John Metchie gives you that number 4. So Wilson 5, Smith 6. Okay, if you keep 6, I think you would be – it would suck to, let go of Smith and Cooper and hope that they pass through waivers and you get them on your, practice squad. I don't know if that's going to happen. I think another team's going to see the talent there. I still want to see Ananias Smith's development, man. And I think Cooper obviously is very young and played at a very small school. So very high upside for these kids. So it sucks to see that. But again, Metchie, maybe he doesn't even make the squad. Maybe, they want to see how healthy he is. But I think, trading for him, they're probably going to want to, hope for getting something out of him. I think he's got a lot of talent. So I think this kid makes the team. But who knows? I mean, my depth chart right now, and Metchie, can play inside, outside again, interchangeable. But I just have it to where you see where the receivers start. Brown, Smith, Dotson. And I don't have anyone listed as like a slot because really Eagles don't play that way. They're interchangeable, man. You've got 3 receivers most of the time. You could have 4, you could have 2, whatever. But, you've got Metchie there at 4, Wilson, Smith. And you can see, beyond that, Cooper and Marshall and Cooks and Williams. There's guys that want to compete and make this roster. I just don't know, if that's going to happen, obviously. So it's going to be fun showing you guys my projected 53-man roster because there's a lot of depth and a lot of battles and a lot of question marks going on at a lot of positions. And, you can see the offense and how I have it listed here. And I'll, just in case you're curious, I'll show you the defense too. And, for me, I think Jacorian Bennett has shown enough. I've got the colors messed up here. I just put this together quick, but I think he's the starter. And, I'm going to stick with that. But John Metchie, I think for me, he doesn't bring you anything in the special teams department. You can see, don't have him listed here. But as another receiver who could really be a starter on a lot of teams, I think it's awesome. And you can see the injury list here as well, just showing you the entire team, keeping you up to date. But that's the move. That's the breakdown. Let me know how you feel about it, ladies and gentlemen. Did you want Harrison Bryant to make the team? Did you want another receiver, Darius Cooper? Do you not like this move? Whatever's on your mind, love to hear from you. And Doyle, appreciate you tuning in, my friend. And I'm going to have to keep up with all the name changes you go through each week. I appreciate you keeping me up, though, man. This one I did not know. I usually can tell. I don't know why or how. I should have, actually. DKP, that's usually in there. But we got it. We got it. How is something that could be part of the package? I'm not sure what you mean. That's not like the NBA where they're going to do that. It's him bringing in a wide receiver, getting rid of a tight end there. So a good move by Howie. What do you mean? He didn't play in that preseason game because of his hamstring, but he'll be just fine. Man, you just saw all the stuff that I just broke down there. But, hey, look, we definitely keep 6. And I think, that's something that we're all talking about regardless of John Metchie being here. But now, that adds a lot of competition there. But let me know how you guys feel about it. You saw all the breakdown, the entire everything you needed to know about him. But, we'll see if he can get comfortable with them. Hopefully they make a rapport here soon. That'd be great. But, no, Johnny Wilson won't be on the practice squad. But, my man Michael, appreciate you tuning in, my friend. Hope you are doing well. Hope you're having yourself a great weekend. And, no, he's fine. Don't listen to the media. Trying to figure this YouTube thing out. Get my no doubt, bro. I still try to figure things out half the time. But, guys, as I said, this is bringing in a receiver. If he didn't tear his ACL in that championship game against Georgia, he would have been a first-round pick. He still got taken in the second-round pick. Poor kid gets leukemia, misses his rookie season. The Texans are just loaded with wide receivers. Howie found a team that was looking to get rid of something that we thought we could, add to help out our team while getting rid of someone that wasn't going to make the team. It's a no-brainer. You swap those picks, whatever. We got our pick back. Howie's going to be trading them anyway. We have 13 picks, as you saw at the beginning of the show. I promise you, Howie is just always cooking. And I tell you that, stay patient. People freaking out all the time. If there's question marks, they need to do something, they will do it. They want to add a corner. They want to do whatever, they will. That's why they added Bennett. That show I made that day talking about adding a corner, and then we added him right when I ended the show, like 10 minutes later. I'm telling you, this team, you don't sleep on them. I saw yesterday somebody was like, we made a mistake. It's like, no. Isaiah Rodgers, look, I like the guy. I wanted him to come back, but people like money. And sometimes when you're like, hey, look, we're trying to give the young guys a shot. We drafted him. We want to see Kaylee Ringo. And he's not, doing what we hoped, in my opinion. So that's why you trade for Jacorian Bennett. You take those gambles and look, man, we're looking to get younger. We're looking for guys that really fit what we're trying to do here and this culture. And I think, you're going to lose players. Josh Webb, Milton Williams, we talked about him. Love those guys. Slay, everybody that, CJ Gardner-Johnson helped win us the Super Bowl. This is part of the business. This is just how it goes. And you just influx of players leaving and coming in, and it's just roster turnover. And when you have a dynasty, you have a great foundation, and that is what we have. We're just building around that. So no reason to fret. Why is this guy? AJ Brown's hurt. I see the media trying all that stuff. Everybody sucks. Everybody, Howie sucks, and AJ Brown's hurt. And no, man, that's just wild, dude. I don't understand why they have to always create something because they don't understand the basics of what's going on. Wild out there, but I'll do my best to keep you up to date with what's going on in reality here. But yeah, all I've got for you. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor. Hit that like button. Share this bad boy. Subscribe down below. If you're watching this later, any of you sickos, I'd love to hear from you. What you got going on up there. Whether you agree with what I'm saying, disagree, want to hear what you got. And, well, stay excited, ladies and gentlemen, because 18 days until the Philadelphia Eagles return. And I cannot wait to beat the living hell out of the Cowboys. Let's effing go. But I hope you're all having yourselves a great weekend. If you need me, you know you can always reach out. Always here for you guys as you are for me. I will talk to you tomorrow. We'll be breaking down some of the things we want to see this week in practice after what we saw. They go back to practice tomorrow. So we're going to talk about what we saw in the games, everything, recap everything before the roster cut down next Tuesday. So holy crap, I'll give you my projected 53 before that happens. We will cover everything, the Jets game on Friday. So keep tuning in. I'll keep putting out what I can. We'll see if any more moves are made. If they are, you know I will get on it as soon as I possibly can when I get home. You know what 2 words I'm going to ask for. Appreciate you sickos getting it started. But that's all I've got for you. So until next time, I am Jimmy Smith, and this is On the Road to Victory. You all stay safe out there, and as always, say it with me, sickos. Go Birds!